the first full day of the federal election campaign, and things are already getting really stupid. Mark Carney came right out the gate with the announcement of a tax cut for middle-income and low-income Canadians. And the next day, clearly distinguishing himself from his competition, Pierre Poilievre came out and announced a tax cut for middle and low-income Canadians. I love choice. But to be fair, Poilievre's cut is different. It's bigger and a lot more expensive. Carney's cut would cost $5.9 billion, and Poilievre's would cost $14 billion per year when it's fully implemented. And tax cuts for low and middle income people sound great, as long as social services and stuff that primarily benefit middle and low income Canadians aren't being cut to pay for it. And how these guys are going to pay for this is a little less clear. When asked that question, Carney said that he would cut the growth of government spending and review programs for efficiencies. And Poilievre didn't say how he would pay for it at all, just that he's going to have a fully costed platform down the line. To give you a sense, his $14 billion tax cut costs $2.5 billion a year more than pharmacare, dental care, and childcare combined, according to CBC. Programs that Poilievre hasn't promised to keep, and Carney said that he thinks Poilievre's going to pay for the tax cut with those kinds of programs. But we don't know yet because he hasn't said how he'll pay for it, so we'll see. But we do know it's very unlikely that Poilievre will raise taxes on the rich or on businesses. In fact, he's promised to cut them for businesses. So where's he going to find the $14 billion? So that's like the big policy stuff from the very beginning of the campaign. But you know me, I love my conspiracy theory dog whistles and disinfo, so I'm going to quickly highlight a little bit of that that's already happening too. A fun new bit of disinfo that Poilievre is playing with is this whole Century Initiative thing. This is a plan that apparently one of Mark Carney's advisors is a fan of, and it's to have the Canadian population reach 100 million people by 2100. So Poilievre keeps implying that Carney is supportive of this plan, even though Carney has explicitly said that if he's elected, the caps on immigration levels, which have been criticized as being fairly restrictive, will remain in place. But I don't know if Poilievre wants to play the game of your advisor's beliefs or your beliefs, because this is one of Pierre's top advisors. But to be fair, Poilievre has said that he is not a MAGA guy, he is Canada first. Which sounds a lot like the slogan that's the Canadian equivalent of MAGA, but you know, I digress. But another reason I really don't like this bit of disinfo is it smacks of the Great Replacement conspiracy theory, which is super popular among people like Elon Musk. Like, I wouldn't assume it's a mistake that his first thing he says right after saying he opposes this initiative that isn't the Liberals' initiative is that he will cap immigration. So he seems to be implying that that is the opposition to this initiative, and therefore that 100 million people would be in large part fueled by immigration. Replacement theory is a racist conspiracy theory that implies that white people are going to be slowly replaced by people of color in countries like Canada or the United States. And in its most extreme iteration, people believe that the Jews are behind it. I am not saying that Poilievre believes in this, so do not take this out of context like that. But what I am saying is people who believe that theory might have their fears stoked by this kind of rhetoric, and I don't think that Poilievre is blind to that. But that's not the only dog whistle he's engaged in already 2 days into this campaign. A lot of people who believe in the Great Reset conspiracy theory have an issue with globalists. And if you followed me for a while, you already know that I've reported on Poilievre's continuous dog whistles of the Great Reset conspiracy theory through his fundraising emails that talk about eating bugs and more. I know, it's as stupid as it sounds. But listen to this line from his first speech on the day the election was called.
What's more, our nation is more divided than ever before because the liberal, radical, post-national, borderless, and globalist ideology has weakened our nation.
Yeah, that's totally how normal people talk. So yeah, welcome to the first full day of the election campaign. I can already tell that I am going to be exhausted. But just a reminder that if you want even more of my commentary because you're not sick of my face yet, I have launched a mini podcast series with my incredible friend Paris Marks called Campaign Cops. We're doing what cops don't often do, which is we're actually holding the powerful accountable. So make sure you check it out. We put it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, basically anywhere you listen every Monday. And you can watch me slowly lose my will to live over the next 5 weeks. What do you think of all this?